Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Hey, look, Jack's left.
They're going option play on 3rd down. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. To the air on 1st down with Pickett. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Now a 2nd and 10. Valdez-Scantling in motion right. 2nd and 10. It's Pickett again. That is incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw, Pickett. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Shedding the tackle. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Fighting down past the 45. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now a 2nd and 2.
Sunday.
A give for Walker running right. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 89 yards rushing for him so far in this one as he nears 1,400 for the year.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Out quickly here to Smith and Jigba. Touchdown, Seahawks. Jackson Smith and Jigba from 21 yards away. And the Seahawks get a bit closer. So that, Charles, their first score of the ball game, obviously, coming here in the 3rd quarter. Is that going to be enough to energize the troops?
It's a great question, and we'll wait to see the answer, but it's finally something for them to build on. Now they know that they can actually score against that defense.
Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on knees pose. His guys will go for 2 here. They'll try and run it here. And he will not make it to the goal line. The defense holds him here. And this is still a 3-score game as the lead remains 18. I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, but
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And they're going to speed things up here. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Now Gino. And he's got Smith and Jigba. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 22 yards there, a first down. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Going right back to Smith and Jigba. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. You got the big lead defensively. willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. Oh, what a move. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 110 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Smith here, an audible at the line. A pitch comes to Walker, and he is out of bounds inside the 30. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Hey, go flip her up, flip her up.
They snap it to Smith. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now obviously they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Let's go now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Pickett. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Trey Brown. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Running left is Walker. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Nice effort defensively there from Cole Holcomb.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And Walker once more. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This offense so far on third down, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. Now Smith. This is intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Extra point put through by Boswell, and they open the lead up now to 25. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this 4th quarter. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Out of the gun, Smith. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Here we go.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. T.J. Watt, always a disruptor, there to blow that play up. There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Walker with it. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play.
Hey, here we go. Hey.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the 1st on 3rd.
Hey, let's go.
Smith going to move him around. Now they'll pitch it out here. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him 9 on the pickup, but they're still a few inches short now on 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game, it could very well turn out to be the shocker of the weekend. Not too many expecting them to come in here and win. And they're not just winning, they're dominating. And now trying to finish this one off. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it.
On it's intercepted. They got Pickett for the third time in this game. Picked off by Reek Woolen. The CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Tuesday right here.
After the interception, here's Smith. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. Outright to Smith and Jigba. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There we go, 13X, 13X.
First and goal at the 2-yard line.
Walker will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
The Seahawks offense staying put out on the field. They're going to go for 2. That's caught at the 2. And he's going to get into the end zone for 2. And they're back within 2 scores. Down 15 now. So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Throwing on third down. Here's Pickett. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense, and let's face it, when you